My name is Ben Knowles from East Coast Yacht Sales, and this is a walkthrough tour of an MJM 40z named Zoom. I just returned from a video shoot of this boat. She's in spectacular condition. The owner's done some really tasteful updates and customizations on her, so take a look at this video. If you have any questions about this 40z or any other 40z on the market, feel free to reach out to me using the information below this video. So as always, we'll start our tour with an exterior walkthrough. She's got a majestic dark blue hull by Allcraft 2000. Two-tone non-skid decks, which is really nice, particularly in the Florida sun, because it's a great glare reduction on top of being a nice traditional look on the boat as well. Up top on the hardtop, you've got a KVH dome right here. This is for your DPS station keeping for the Volvos. Radar. You have two VHF antennas because the boat also has AIS. And we'll take a closer look at the bow in a second. The hull is in excellent condition. We just got back from a little tour getting underway with some drone shots, so there's a little salt on the hull right now, but the hull is in excellent shape. It's just so obvious that this boat has been incredibly well maintained. You probably have already picked it up on the videos, but look at this custom large fixed glass window. They also have added some tinting to it as well, and this is just to help keep the pod house nice and cool. And the execution of this fixed glass window is amazing. Also, they enclose the aft section as well, and we're going to take a really hard look at that in a moment here. But it looks factory. It looks very sharp, and it has some benefits while underway as well with noise reduction. But this boat is just shining here on our slip. I'm going to head forward, go to the bow, and then we'll work our way aft and take a hard look at these custom features. Beautiful bow setup here, very typical MJM. You have your spotlight here, which is a great area for the spotlight. When using it at night, it doesn't illuminate any of the stainless. Most spotlights are mounted on the hardtop, so that's really smart move from MJM's perspective. The bow cleats are substantial, backed by aluminum backing plates. Your anchor windlass here, you have controls at the helm and with these foot pedals right here in the bow. You can see even these owners have cut out this reflective material here also to prevent UV from getting down below into the boat. These folks are super particular with how the boat is kept up and maintained with UV. And that's just shows one aspect of that. They did add some UV repellent to these windows here. It's not a tinting, It looks like a tinting right now because you can see the tinting on the windows that are surrounding it, but it just again helps further protect the interior of the boat and keep it nice and cool in the pilot house. This is your standard fixed window on the MJM. They have just tinted that window. This window here is the custom job. The caulking lines that they did are extremely well executed, and just this nice big glass panel just fits perfectly in the boat. It looks like it should be factory. Hardtop, everything is in great shape. You do see, however, some fizzing of paint on this on the Volvo antenna there, but besides that, everything is in really excellent shape. This aft decking material here is S-Tech. Very popular option from the MJM build. You may notice that there is a removable chair that's not here. These folks have just opted to have that off the boat, but that does convey. In its current form, it just gives you really easy access to your swim platform. And while we're looking after the swim platform, this is where your shower is for hot and cold fresh water pressure. This bimini has been added, which is an S&S bimini, very typical for what you'd see coming out of the factory with this tension tool. So it's a really well form-fitting bimini that come on these boats. Looking forward, you can just see more of this custom glass installation. The glass just carries all up in here. The caulk lines are beautiful, and the stainless door is very simply executed as well. Underneath here is just general storage, as is underneath here. These two deck hatches are just for your general day access to the engine space, but we're not going to get into that right now. We're going to get into that just a little bit towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Now let's enter into the pilot house. This is a swing door that has a magnet that keeps the door open just like that. Nice wide opening, stainless framework around. And then as you enter, I can just feel this wall of cool air as I enter into this pilot house. Now I want to look aft for a second, and we'll close this door. And you can just see how easy this mechanism is. Nice quality hardware. It's even sealed down at the lower section of the door, but it's amazing actually how they did this. As you open the door, that gasket goes up. Really well done, and lots of thought went into this enclosure. The framework around here is all fiberglass. It looks beautiful. Just look at how large this window is. It is huge. It's completely encapsulates a panoramic feel to the boat. Undisturbed, clean. And another crazy thing, which I've mentioned while underway, is how quiet this boat is. The density of the glass just sheds off all the exterior noises, and it is very cool and very quiet in here. You can see that the synthetic decking has carried through into the pilot house. The ultra leather cushions are in excellent condition. You know, if you start to see any beginnings of wear and tear beyond these edges, which there is zero. This is a narrow stid seat, which I really like, described in the underway section of the video, how it's nice that it fits your body really well, particularly in rough conditions. You can see just a little bit of wear in here, but the other portion of these stid seats are in excellent shape. Really quite nice. Then looking forward at the helm, these are the Raymarine GS165 and the GS95. Two really nice screen setups here. I really like the ability to have a screen more zoomed in and then another screen zoomed out. Within the bill spec, as you're sitting at the helm like I am now, off to starboard here, just from an easy arm length away, I have the ability to control these screens right from the seated position, which is great. When you're standing at the helm, which I enjoy doing as well, you have another wired remote to do the same when standing. So it's lots of thought went into where the electronics are located on this particular boat. This is your Volvo joystick, and this boat does have station keeping or skyhook or DPS, however you want to call it. You also have the electric opening windows here, which are fabulous. I love these electric opening windows. The Conberg horn, and then windshield washer and all the rest there as well. And then moving on, you've got your Volvo display for your engines, autopilot with this dial, so you can turn each click is 1 degree. I like having this dial right here. And then finally you have a dedicated Raymarine display, which is ideal for just depth. I really also like having that as well. Trim tabs right here, spotlight for the light mounted up on the bow. So excellent central command center right here at the helm. You've got your ICOM VHF radio with the box section stored out of the way, just to make for a nice cleaner look with electronics looking forward. You've got your 3 bilge pumps here, your generator with 228 hours. These are your lights, cup holders, fairly standard right here for the boat. On your companion side, you've got they put in these extra storage sacks right here, which end up being super handy, in addition to the drawers right here, which are each easily accessed. And just look at how neat and tidy everything is throughout the boat. Now for storage, off to starboard here, underneath these seats, there's a tremendous amount of storage and a spot to easily access machinery parts on the boat. For their is one of your 2 house battery banks. That black box, Dirt Devil, that's your central vac system for the boat. But this is how this owner keeps the boat. Look at how nice everything is. Organized. There isn't even any dust in the bilge. It's quite incredible how well maintained this boat is. And then in this compartment here, this is where your generator is housed and your Seakeeper. This is the Seakeeper 6, which was installed on the boat. Northern Lights generator right here. Seakeeper 6. And then forward is your air handlers. Again, look at how clean this boat is. It's incredible. And then similar to the starboard side, off to port here is the same amount of storage. It's insane how much you get for a 40-foot boat. You can put bikes, inflatable tenders, outboard engines, all in these storage compartments. So now what we'll do is we'll head down below. Down below on Zoom, you only have 3 steps to get down below to this wonderful salon area. What's great about the design of the 40Z is that you have this dinette off to starboard. And this dinette is a very versatile space on board the boat. It's really nice to have a dedicated spot down below where you can sit, get out of the sun, read a book, lounge. The hull sides here go aft, or outboard, so it's really nice to have your back against those cherry battens right there, and have your legs out and just lounge. And also this table, it drops down and there's a filler cushion, so you can make this a berth, but you could also vary the heights depending if you're dining or if you're working on a laptop. There's a switch that you press where it electrically goes up and down, which is a really nice thing to have. If you do have guests on board, there's a privacy curtain that you can put up. You can see these fittings right here, so that can add some privacy. Also, you have this door here closes forward for the master, but you still have this access into the head, so your guests at night can still go to the bathroom. And you also, in this space, you have a central vac, which the connection's right there, just to keep this area nice and neat. It's so easy to use, and it's really great to have on board the boat. This is your 110 panel, 12-volt panel, air conditioning units. You have a total of 32,000 BTUs, 16,000 BTU unit down below, and another dedicated 16,000 BTU unit up in the pilot house. Inverter charger here, fusion stereo, and this is your Seakeeper control right here. These reading lights are also really nice to have if you're hoping to read a book at night. Off to port here is the galley. The galley has been updated over time with the 40Z, and this particular boat incorporates all those updates over time. What I mean by that is you have this corner freezer in here, which is a very deep, lots of storage, very efficient corner freezer right here. You have a double drawer refrigerator, which is great. So the older boats had a refrigerator freezer. This is a double refrigerator, so you're effectively doubling your refrigeration space on the boat. And then also you have these upper cabinets, which are great for extra dishware or cups or what have you to store above. And you may notice that there's even some under-counter lighting as well, which really gives it a nice warm feel. You have your trash right here, sink, and then this is a convection oven microwave right here. Outboard, you have lots of deep storage. There's a 110 plug deep in there if you want to add a coffee maker. All the drawers are on drawer slides. You can see even the dovetail joints with soft close, and then nice positive locks. And you also take note there's no mildew or anything along those lines on board this boat. Down below here there was a dehumidifier that the owner likes to run just to keep this area dry and fresh, and that's exactly what it is. There is no boat odor whatsoever down below here. It's been clearly very well maintained. There's always the blinds are used to prevent the UV light to come in here, and it shows. You can tell that this interior has been very well maintained. This boat did come out of New England, so she did spend several winters in a shed before coming down to Florida. But while in Florida, she's clearly been extremely well cared for. This is a vacuum flush electric head, sink vanity with storage below, and then some nice storage outboard as well. Of course, the master with a island queen berth with nice storage below. You have a hanging locker off the port here. Nice windows. You can see how nice these cherry battens are. No leaking whatsoever around any of these port lights. You do have a TV in the master, which has KVH TV capabilities with a little vanity below. And then starboard and aft, this is your dedicated stall shower, typical on the 40 MJM. But what a beautiful, nice and inviting master cabin. Just so well executed and well cared for. Just beyond these pillows is your access to your anchor locker as well. You can see you have a couple of 12-volt fans, reading lights up there as well. And then just to pull back this carpet so you can take a look at the condition of the cabin sole, which is in great shape. We'll open up underneath the cabin sole here, and this is, as you can see, being well utilized with plastic bins for extra storage on board. You can get a peek at the bilge and see that it is very dry and very clean, just like the rest of the boat. And now what we'll do for the last bit is we'll head aft into the engine space and have you take a closer look at that. All right, last but certainly not least, here is your engine space on board Zoom. This particular boat is powered with the IPS 500, which is the 370 horsepower Volvo engines. She's got about 520 hours on her engines and gets serviced every year, pod service, engine service each year in the wintertime. Very clean. Look at this access that MJN gives you. For these hatches are more for your daily checks right here, and then this larger aft hatch is more for major servicing and very diligent engine checks. So as you can see, bilges are clean, just like the rest of the boat. You don't have corrosion anywhere, and this is clearly a very well maintained engine space. So here we are going to throttle up on zoom. Nice easy throttle up. We're at a nice comfortable plane right now, and you'll notice with this glass enclosure and aft, this is doing such a beautiful job cutting the noise from the engine. I mean, I am just talking like a normal conversation volume right now, and here we are just slowly getting up to about 27, 28 knots. A nice easy cruise as we're in the ICW here in Florida. And the size of these windows while underway, it is so beautiful, these panoramic views that you have, completely undisturbed and cutting out, because of the density of the glass, all of the vibration and noise. So there is zero vibration or engine noise. It's just a nice little hum from the engines as we're cruising along at 29 knots. So this is such a beautiful environment that's been created in this pilot house with this glass enclosure. And from a seated position in this L-shaped seating aft, just look at this view that we have here. It's absolutely picturesque and beautiful, so well executed. Every seat you have while underway is a great seat on this boat. And then of course your visibility looking forward at the helm chairs. Never lose the horizon, looking forward on the bow. I really love these narrow stid helm chairs. You can easily rest your elbows on either side. The seat just fits you really nicely, particularly when you're in rougher conditions. And so this is what it's like to be underway on zoom. Thank you for watching this walkthrough tour of the MJM 40z Zoom. If you need any other information about this particular MJM or any other MJM on the market, feel free to reach out to me using the information below this video.